Okay.
Right. 239.
239. All right, we'll do that. Let's start. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to TVI podcast. Carl Donnelly here.
Julian Deane.
You haven't said the Francis in a while.
I know.
It's episode 239. We're here with Fiona Ridgewell, returning.
What's your middle name, Fiona?
I haven't got one.
I haven't got one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Have your siblings got
No.
one? No.
So my
mine
parents
neither,
like totally just...
Has your daughter
Scrap
got
that.
one?
Yeah. My daughter's got a double barrel surname and a middle name. So we've really loaded her up with names.
And no first name. What's your first name? I haven't got one.
Her middle name is Meryl, my daughter.
Oh, like
Meryl.
Streep?
Like Meryl Streep.
Is that who it was after?
I don't think it was. I mean, that must have had, it was I imagine that's where we first heard the name.
Yeah.
Meryl.
But I reckon
Meryl.
Well done, Julie.
It's
What
a
are you
spelling
for?
bee.
Just flexing. Just flexing my education.
Yes, Meryl. But because I've always wanted a middle name. But were you jealous
I
of
think
middle
you
names?
just
when you
get
were
I
young?
did want one. I always wanted
I had
like
mates with like two or
Natasha
three.
or something in there. I'd quite have liked.
Were you religious
Fiona
growing up?
Natasha.
Yeah.
You weren't raised Catholic or anything?
No.
Because I got one from confirmation, but it's not legal. So I have technically got like
Does
a
it matter?
confirmation name. Well, it's not on my birth certificate, or I could probably change it by deed poll, but that seems
What
a bit
is it?
much. Christopher.
Okay. Nice.
You have to pick a saint's name
Right.
when you do your confirmation.
Do you?
Limited, yeah.
Yeah. You
What
can pick any name. It's a Catholic confirmation.
What you were? How many saints are there? About
Loads,
4.
man. If you actually look back, there's a lot.
I thought it was just Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but there's
Peter's one.
No,
isn't
they're
it?
all like literally saints.
Peter,
Isn't
Saint Peter.
Saint Teresa. Wasn't Mother Teresa? Did she become a saint?
She's a saint.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
you can add them on. Yeah, there was a little boy recently who became a saint.
I think I'm going to tell.
For what?
Don't really know.
What do you mean?
Saint Sharp.
How good a little boy can you be to become a
I know,
saint?
chill out.
I think he really helped with like some sort of like
Some
transplant thing or
school
something.
project.
Oh,
How
but-
did he help?
And then-
Like,
I don't-
he's probably a nice
Do you
kid.
know what? It was a short.
There's no
TikTok video
way
I
that he
saw.
helped.
Oh man, there is so many saints. Just having a quick
See,
look.
there's a
Did a little
really
crayon
recent one,
drawing.
Little boy.
So
I
there's
did.
no, but it breaks it down in country. Every country's got its own saint. So America's got 7 saints.
From this year, or
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not like the NFL draft. Every year
made
we
the
got
team
6
this
new
year.
saints coming in.
How do they choose a saint?
I think
you've got to do
you've got.
something good. You're not on the list, Julian.
I mean,
I know. I do know.
knows?
They have to be recommended as a saint,
By, like-
and it's normally after
can everyone
death.
recommend
yeah,
me?
that's what happened. This
So they
little boy
recommend you,
died.
hey, mate.
That's
You
what I
are
did.
not passing the vetting process.
What's the opposite to a saint? A non.
You're going to have a Netflix documentary within a year of dying.
Yeah.
But what they do is, and then I think that it's all enough people recommend it, and it goes to like the Vatican, and they have to do like a case study on it and decide if they're going to be a saint.
Oh God!
And normally it involves
Sounds like
miracles.
a load of bullshit.
I think the little boy might have got one because apparently it's allegedly did a miracle.
But
Yeah, mate.
was the miracle?
Made the Pope come.
No, I think. Oh no! Every time. I don't know why I always agree to come back. I don't know why I do. It's always within the first 5 minutes, Julian. You just go.
That's a miracle, young boy.
He made his vicar's willy disappear up his bum. Come on, sorry. Welcome back to the podcast,
Yeah,
Fiona.
thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Oh no. But yes, episode 239. I'm trying to think of more jokes like that now. My head's gone.
Yeah, that's the thing. They just go around.
I want to note that down and do that on stage. That'd be fun. That'd work on stage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Pedo
welcome
jokes
back
never fail on stage.
for you.
No, the last time we did a gig, we was at PTA, wasn't we?
Oh yeah.
And that was the one thing you couldn't do.
Really?
And I
Yeah.
didn't, did I?
No, you left those out.
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
You only did 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually killed the gig. Yeah. Someone died though at the gig. Why'd you look at me
Oh,
like that?
No, he means.
Oh,
like,
a comedy death. Oh, you
yeah.
said it so seriously. I thought somebody had a heart attack.
Obviously, that's what I mean. No, nobody died, but Fiona was saying that she didn't have a good one,
didn't
but she
enjoy it.
did really well. Is my point.
Yeah. But it always feels different, innit? Like it doesn't, it's like it's always relative.
Yeah.
Like how gigs go. Even last night I was at the Comedy Store, and like it wasn't a busy night at the store, so
Oh, really?
it was it was the England match, wasn't it? So
Oh, of course, yeah.
gig starts, and it's less than half full because there's a
Everyone's
who's
lagging
coming
by that
out.
time.
Yeah.
Well, no, but no one's coming out. If it's an England match, people
But
aren't
that's
going to
like
book to go
5
and
o'clock,
see.
wasn't it?
Yeah, but people, if you're going to watch the England
That's
match,
your
you're not
evening
going to then
really,
book
Yeah.
a comedy show at 8
It's
p.m.
Dominoes and beer, innit?
So it's that thing of being used to going out and
pizza,
it's
not
full,
the game.
and you know it's sort of always got that energy, and you're going out and it's not.
Yeah.
Like me and Charlie Baker and Paul McCaffrey, and that came away like, oh, it
was
felt like a
lukewarm.
death, even though it wasn't a death. It was a good gig, but it's relative to
I'd
the
have probably
normal.
roofed it.
If you get booked,
I never play gigs that don't book me. It's just
Yeah, I have that.
it's just my
got your
you know,
principles.
you got to have your integrity in this
Yeah.
game. I've held on to that. You know what I mean?
Well, a quick update on Julian last week talked about he had school sports day
I'm
coming
gonna
up.
cut this bit out. Yeah.
Okay.
We're not
yeah.
cutting out, so you were really nervous to partake. And see
Well,
what
it's
happened.
because I had my legs were like buckled, man.
Yeah. That's probably what it was.
You know what I mean?
That's why you didn't win a 100 meter
Yeah.
sprint.
How old is your child?
He
that
was
you're
against the
going-
kids.
Just you against all the children.
No, obviously.
No, yeah.
How old's my child?
Yeah.
She's 10.
Right. So the sports day is mainly for her, though. No.
But apparently at the end there is an adults race.
Oh, there is.
And Julian takes it very
Yeah,
seriously
no one
every
else
year.
is training for
Would you
that.
think would you think I would play in? I was competing in their games.
No, you know, like sometimes you've got to tie your legs
Three-legged
together.
race.
Yeah, three-legged race.
Yeah.
I thought you would be doing them like with your.
What you think
daughter.
the parents do the three-legged race? Do you think that?
Isn't that what they do?
Yeah.
I don't know. My
No, the
daughter's
parents
not at
just have a
school yet.
sprint at the end,
Right.
which is all I'm
All
focused
men.
on.
All men.
It wasn't mixed, so there was
Oh, they-
women
they-
first, and
yeah.
Right.
then you know, I mean, the soldiers
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
so, right,
Like
so-
running.
How was the women's race? Was it a competitive
Um,
race? Or were you two in your head? To
I weren't really. I was
partake?
stretching.
You were
and that.
stretching out, limbering up.
Yeah, I was
of
doing
course.
star jumps.
And how many participants?
There was quite a few, maybe about 15.
Oh, 15.
There's quite a
That's
lot,
loads.
man. I went there to not do the race, and then I'm like, I gotta do it. I
Yeah.
can't not.
Yeah.
Like Ren's watching.
Were you
Yeah.
dressed for running?
I mean, accidentally had a tracksuit on.
Accidentally.
Accidentally had some steroids in my system.
And running spikes.
But I came about fourth, I reckon. I mean, I wasn't.
Oh, right. Oh, you don't really like running, though, do you?
What?
You don't like
I beat
running?
you in a race, if you don't remember.
Did you? I've started park run.
Oh, God.
Oh,
You don't remember the race that I beat you in?
no, blocked it out, Julian.
What, where did you race?
Round
On
Blackheath.
Not round, just a sprint on Blackheath.
Yeah.
But I reckon you could potentially win a short sprint, but I guarantee
I am
you're going
fast,
to
to
win
be
a run.
fair.
Well,
I am
I'm not
fast.
very good at running.
Yeah, but he's got asthma and vapes
Yeah.
23
Yeah.
hours of the day.
But
So-
a
He was
100
vaping whilst he was running. Yeah,
100
yeah.
metre sprint, though, I could do okay at for my age and size and all that, yeah.
Well, they do this thing on the park run, so age grading. So
Oh,
even
right.
though I might be slower than you, like it depends on your age and your gender and
It's like
everything.
handicaps, like golf
Well, if
handicaps.
Yeah,
you're younger than
yeah.
me and you're also slower than me,
Yeah,
that
I'm
wouldn't
probably worse.
equal it out. That makes the distance bigger
Yeah,
into,
yeah,
who's-
yeah. Well, I meant the
into
opposite.
talent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who were the other, talk us through the other competitors?
Well, there was obviously a brother in it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a kid's older brother.
Yeah.
Did they win?
That's all, that
They
is
won.
cheating.
I said to him, are you far? I mean, he was built as well. He's about
Yeah, yeah.
6'3", like a gym guy. One of the fastest in Europe. He was one of the fastest brothers in Europe. But he was fast, man. And there was a couple of dads that beat me as well,
Okay.
to be fair. But they were like,
What
you know,
age were they? Young dads or middle-aged?
young. I'd say younger than me. Yeah.
Okay.
So very young dads. Yeah.
Nice.
My
like
legs
early
were
40s.
fried though. I knew I wasn't going. I just did it for you know what I mean. It's not about who wins, man.
No.
See how much has affected you.
Yeah.
No one cares either. Like, except me.
Was there
Exactly.
medals?
No, not for the parents.
Okay.
Yeah.
My daughter goes to gymnastics,
Mm.
right, on Wednesdays, and it's literally for like 3
So they
to
do a parents one at the end of that on the trapeze.
I was doing that last year, wasn't I?
Oh yeah, I wanted
Oh,
to
no,
do
last
gymnastics
year.
in Crayford.
Yeah.
What sort of stuff were you doing? Balance beams.
No, trying to learn to like flip and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and going on the bars.
I want to
and-
learn a back somersault, man.
But there's a fear in you when you're an adult.
Absolutely. I went to a
you got
trampoline
too much
park the other day.
consequence in your head, haven't
yeah.
you?
trampoline park I went on Monday morning with my
Yeah,
daughter,
yeah.
and it's great. I love a trampoline park, but
It's knackering.
but like. If I would have gone to a trampoline park when I was 18,
Oh,
I would have been leaping off the top. I would have been doing flips. And now I've just got that little. I was doing I did some pretty high things.
Extra cautious, aren't you?
Yeah, you just think because you just not. And also at one point, I jumped from a really high bit down, and I felt a tiny jar in my back because I didn't get the knee bend right to bounce back up. And the moment that happened,
snaps the wrong way.
I was just like bent over backwards in an ambulance. But yeah, and the moment that happens and you feel a twinge, you're like, that's the rest of the rest of the day I'm taking so gently.
You could tell a lot of it was like mental blocks when I was trying to do it. Because when
it all is apparently though, isn't it? Mental blocks.
I think even
apparently
like
even stretching though. Like the reason you can't do the splits is mental, not physical mainly. Apparently,
up to a point. It's a spectrum though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's up to a point, yeah. But it is more your brain won't let you do it. Apparently, I mean, don't quote me on this.
One way I can do the splits, and then the other way.
How can you do the splits front ways?
Yeah, but
forwards
like
and
with my right leg forward, and then if I go to my left leg, there's like a tightness.
Well, you can go all the way down.
Yeah, so
that's pretty
but
good.
the left leg, I'm like, oh no, I won't push it. So my head stops me from like, because I'm like, it feels like it's gonna ping.
Yes. What was I going to say about the gymnastics thing and like the medals? So at the end of it, it's for 3 to 5-year-olds, and they get a sticker at the end of each week, and they love the sticker. All the kids love the stickers. This week there was a few kids there that just wouldn't do what because what they do is they do loads of warm-ups. It's actually really cool, and then they get split into little teams, and they like, today you're going to do forward rolls down this little hill, and then you've got to stand up at the end and go da-da. This one you've got to go on the balance beam, and you've got to jump over little ribbons they've put over it, and it's all very basic gymnastics stuff, right? But for a 3 to 5-year-old, it's great. And there was a few kids that just were really unruly this week, and because the parents just said, we were all in the cafe just watching from afar.
Oh, okay, so you don't get involved.
Not at all. And then at the end, basically, the instructors were like, no, well, we're not doing stickers today because we think of this as a team. And today there was too many people that weren't doing the thing, and like, so a few of the kids, Twyla was crying, a few other kids are crying, so they didn't get their sticker. And in my head, I was like, that is. I know some people say, everyone gets a bloody participation trophy nowadays.
When you're 3 years old, though,
she's just turned 4, and like she was doing everything they'd asked.
So what you would have preferred, they gave.
The naughty kids didn't get
them, and the
get
good
rid
ones
of them,
got them.
Ban them, and give the other kids stickers,
them in the face,
and let me headbutt their parents.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. I feel like that's a bit mean on that age, kids. I get it when they're 6, 7, you can start teaching them about group responsibility, but that's too young for it.
Consequences there for a 3-year-old.
I think it's just
Were
mean.
they like kind of teenagers organising, like doing
the instructors are all quite young. Yeah, they're all like mid-20s, I'd say. Late. I think one of them was probably early 20s.
Yeah, sometimes they come down, they get like a little bit of power maybe, and they just they're just kind of following rules.
Like that, though, gymnastics, dancing is quite
it's competitive,
harsh.
isn't it?
Yeah, it's always
because
been
she's just weirdly, because I don't love that one she goes to. We've just been taking her to another one on Thursday mornings, just to sort of try and see if she prefers this one. The one she's going to, even though it's a much nicer like a way of doing it, it's still they're pretty strict on them. Like they do want them to do the stuff even though they're 4. Do you know what I mean? It's not messing around.
It's quite a strict discipline though, isn't it?
Yeah, with things like dancing and gymnastics, you do start that young.
Yeah.
So like they're probably already looking at them as if to say like, could they go on and be a professional?
Whereas
represent England.
She goes to baby ballet, and that's the opposite. That is like chilled as anything. They don't give a shit.
Good toes, naughty toes.
It's just fun. You know what I mean? Get a tutu on and do some pliés, and then
Is that what you do? Yeah.
That's what
He could be in the calf, but he's not. He's got his tutu on.
But yeah, somebody did ask actually when we said you were coming on about your last time we talked to you about your boxing match that was going to happen.
Didn't get to do it.
What happened?
It was, so I was training for the boxing match up until, I think it was meant to be on like the 16th of March or something, and I trained till like the 13th, and then it was lockdown.
Oh, yes.
It literally stopped. So I'd done the 10 weeks.
Right.
They stopped
and it never got rescheduled.
Well, I could have, but then I would have had to do the whole
training camp.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to do that again.
Was it for charity or something?
Yeah.
You don't care anymore about that charity. Yeah. Oh,
good luck to him.
How many lives have been lost?
Well, no, I think they took the money because it was in like a.
Oh, you did get money.
Yeah, it was in like not like a GoFundMe, like a Just
envelope.
Giving or whatever.
Yeah.
So that I assume that just went to the charity anyway. It was locked down,
but
so
if
no
the
one
event,
really cared.
maybe,
yeah.
but normally if the event doesn't happen, the money's refunded.
Oh, well, maybe they all got refunds then, yeah.
Do you remember what charity it was?
You don't care about stuff
probably
like
a cancer one.
Probably,
It wasn't like a...
It's one of them cancer ones, isn't it?
No, it wasn't like a personal one to me. Like, it wasn't like... You know, sometimes there's something going on in your family. You're like, I've got to do a charity. It was just like, I want to do a boxing match.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to sponsor someone.
Yeah.
Or,
I did a gig on Tuesday night in Kent. And
what part?
It was in Witham or Rotham, one of them two.
Oh yeah, Rootham or Rotham.
That one.
Yeah.
This is different gig actually. Sorry, I've just got two gigs confused. This was a gig. I did another gig in High Barnet, just in a little village called like Rotham outside High Barnet.
Okay.
But I mean, do you ever get people after gigs come up and say like, I'm thinking of doing like a charity gig? Would you be interested? They sort of ask you if you do it, right?
Pretend I'm deaf.
Pretend you weren't the guy on stage.
I know that weren't
me. That weren't me, man. No, you look like me though, innit?
He was good though, wasn't he?
You should follow him on Instagram. But
here's his handle.
But basically, that happens now. It happens quite common. It's quite regular. Somebody will come up to me or they'll say, "I'm organising like a." I've been asked before, like I'm doing my mate's stag do.
You look like someone who works for nothing.
But I've been asked to perform at stag do's in like, me and my mates have hired out like
wedding,
hired a house, and like we wondered if you'd come and do some stand up, and I've just been like, absolutely
not.
Kitchen. Thank you for offering.
That one you can sort of explain to them.
Yeah, I've been asked for weddings as well.
Yeah, I got asked for a wedding when I was really new as well. I was like, I would literally ruin that wedding.
Yeah.
Did you say what you?
I was just like, absolutely not. I was like, I've got 10 minutes about myself. You don't want me to do 10 minutes about myself to
their
wedding and all their family and friends are like, who's this girl who's made your wedding about her?
Yeah.
Dressed in a wedding
I think at
dress.
the time as well, it was like, oh, I got dumped. And then their wedding, absolutely not happening.
That'd be the worst nightmare.
Yeah, I know people that have done weddings though, and like, I know some people that have done them and they've gone all right. I know some people that have done them and they've gone, it's been catastrophic, like almost ruined the wedding.
The bride crying and walking out and screaming.
Oh
and
my
shit.
God.
Yeah, it's not worth it. But like the wedding ones and the stag ones, you can sort of say, oh no, that won't work. But the charity ones, you have to entertain those.
But get a load of this. So this guy comes up to me in just outside Wickam, and it was a lovely like big gig out in a gazebo in a village like green, and everyone was super friendly. So I was chatting to people at the interval and stuff. It was just one of them sorts of gigs. And this guy came up to me and was like, "Oh mate, that's really funny and that." And he goes, "I do some events with people with ADHD." And then I was all ready for the chat of him going like, "I'm thinking of organising an event. Is there any way I could contact you about it?" I was just going to be like, "Yeah, man." And then he went like, we have like sort of just meetups when we sit with them and just talk, like, just have a chat once a month. Like, is it the sort of thing maybe you just come to? And I was like, what? I was like, what? Like, just once a month, I'm going to go to High Wickam. I know it sounds rude, but like, to go and just hang out.
To a couple of
times.
Not even
perform, just...
Oh, God.
He wanted you just
sit want to hang out.
Oh,
and right. I didn't want to be rude, so I was like, well, like, get in touch with me on social media.
Every Sunday.
But that's what it sort of felt like. It was such an unusual request that I was like, yeah, man, just like drop me a message on Instagram. And in my head, I was like that is physically like it's impossible. I don't have the time to do that.
Yeah,
I've got a child.
Well, and also you'd be like losing a gig to just go and sit in a circle. And...
I know. And if it was like a one-off event and they had some idea and plan around it, I
suppose he's coming from a nice place, but he just don't understand.
He doesn't understand that this is like a job that you do. That it's you can't just go to High Wycombe to
But what
have
did he
coffee
want you?
with.
No offence.
Well,
what did he think you was bringing to the table?
I don't. Well, it's just because I was hosting. I was very chatty to people.
No
I think he thought.
Like,
what would you say?
What do you think you're bringing to the table?
No offence, but did he like your stuff?
No, obviously.
What could you possibly bring to this?
If he says, "Can you come and do jokes?" Like, that's what we're known for.
Like, no offence.
In a circle. Like, what are you?
No offence, but did he like you?
To like facilitate.
Yeah, no, I think basically because I basically was hosting the whole evening, like, and I'd been on and off, and I was I basically chatted to the crowd exclusively rather than do material.
Okay, yeah.
So I think he just thought, oh, this guy would be good to just come and have a chat to some people with ADHD. No, I know as well. I don't want to be rude, but ADHD is quite low on my list of priorities when it comes to charitable events.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say. For me, it would be Alzheimer's because of my mum.
Right.
Then it would be probably some sort of, and then vegan probably charities after that. Then it's cancer. So cancer's below
Wanna be
vegan.
just like
That's going
ADHD,
to upset the cancer sufferer's head. I'll put vegan above them. But you know, it's there in terms of you've just it's
be
your
carnivore charity.
just the Liver King fucking fundraiser.
Fundraiser to buy more cigarettes.
Are you still vegan?
Yeah, obviously.
But what would be your list of charitable causes?
Probably near the top. I'd go dementia.
Yes.
Is that what your nan's got?
She's dead now, but
you should do one for death.
dead people.
I reckon we should.
She hasn't got it anymore then.
She hasn't got it anymore. But no, they like
She's cured it. She's cured.
She was going that way.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
When did she die?
November 2022.
Oh, so quite recently.
Yeah,
Sorry
not
to hear
too,
that.
that's all right. I've seen you since then.
Have you?
Yeah. So I put that near the top.
Yep.
I guess you got to do what's close to you. And my dad's got COPD. Would
That's
that
what
count?
my dad died of.
Oh fuck! Right. Well,
sorry.
he's on his way
I
out.
don't know why I
as
said
well,
that so chipper. But no, it's very my dad had it for years, but
Yeah.
ultimately,
Were they both smokers?
Yes, my dad smoked a lot.
yeah, same here.
But now he vapes. And he said to me the other
How
day,
old's your dad?
66.
Sorry, I don't know why the idea of a 66-year-old vaping makes me laugh.
Well, also, I
I
said
mean,
to him,
Julian's got a few years till he gets to that age, but
I don't know, all different flavours. But he said, "Oh no, the doctor told me to."
It's
I was
better
like,
than
"I
smoking.
don't fit." He said that the doctor went, "If you want to do that, do that." They just
Yeah.
need
Better
to get
than
him off
smoking.
the
It's
fat.
better.
it's definitely
Definitely.
better than smoking.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's good for your lungs.
No, but if he's 66, he's not going to quit smoking. It's the better.
No, he did manage to quit smoking for the vape.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'd
Okay.
probably put that one up there.
Yes.
What, COPD?
Yeah, maybe.
But
put
it's
that
a
one
bit
up
of
there.
it's a weird one, COPD, isn't it? 'Cause it's actually not really a specific thing. It's like IBS. It's basically
Yeah,
like
it's
it's a very generic lung condition that you haven't actually pinpointed.
Would
it
you
could
do
be a series
IBS
of things.
charity? Yeah.
That's not on there. No.
I don't think
That
so.
stink.
Maybe endometriosis.
Oh,
Found out
that's a
recently
good
I've got
one.
that.
Yeah.
What is
so,
that?
That's where you get like cysts in your ovaries and things. and
Affects,
Yeah.
it's
It can
brutal. I
affect
know people that have,
fertility.
it's
quite
literally
painful,
it's
yeah.
been almost like they've been hospitalised for periods of
Yeah.
their life.
Well-
Do you get pain and stuff? Are you okay?
Do you know what? They reckon I've got it. It's quite intense. They reckon I've got it quite severe.
Yeah.
So they've done like an MRI and they think my bowel is now attached to my uterus because it's sort of like
Wow.
It's supposed to be, isn't
Fused.
it?
it's fused it together.
Oh my word.
But actually, the more severe it is, apparently, the less pain you get.
Really?
So yeah, it's one of these. I don't know. So the bigger the cyst, the less
The
pain
nerves
you
are
get.
dead, maybe.
Let's hope not. But I'm meant to be having like an operation for that.
When they can fix it.
Like no, they'll like remove it and then it's all to do with fertility. Basically, I want to see if that can happen. So they'll go in and then if the cyst's too big, they'll take the ovary with it and stuff.
and
It's
sort
quite-
of
yeah, it's quite
and
full
help
on.
with the fertility side of it.
Yeah. But because if it was just the endometriosis, I probably wouldn't have the operation because, like I said, I'm not in too much pain. But they think it's going to affect fertility, so they're because they think I need IVF. They're like, we have to give you the best chance, so we have to go in and investigate. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
So that's up there.
Yep, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
I should have maybe put that one first.
Oh,
No,
I don't
I'll
know.
put that one third.
Yeah.
Yeah, so cancer's quite low down on mine as well, actually.
It's yours.
I don't know, really.
You don't give a shit about any charities.
Nah, I don't know, like helping kids, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know what ones.
Just all kids.
Yeah. Like poor kids
Right.
with no
Okay.
parents, little orphans. I'd help them.
Annie.
Annie, yeah.
Orphans.
I'd take her to a mansion
Right, yeah, cool.
and sing with her.
Get her to call you Daddy Warbucks.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's do some questions.
Oh, we got questions.
We always get loads of questions for each episode, but then we forget to do
From
them.
our patron,
have
if you want to
you-
join,
This is from-
.com/wearetvi.
Tim says, have you gigged in the States? And if only one of you could go over to help TVI crack America, who would you send?
Me.
I have gigged.
Fiona.
I've gigged in the States.
Have you?
Yeah.
Where did you, in
Just
New York?
LA.
Oh, okay.
And it's nice. Gigs are good. People are nice. Very short sets, though. That's the only thing.
Okay.
You know, yeah, you'd love it, man. You'd love Australia as well. Like club sets overseas,
Like
no
10
other
minutes or
country has
something.
like a 20-minute or like a head. Like in America, I suppose if you're doing the big shows out of town,
You're doing
your
45
to
or
headline.
Canada.
Yeah. But like in just the little clubs around the place, everyone's doing short spots. It's so weird.
Okay.
In Australia, I find it really mad. Like weekend clubs, you'll be doing like 7 minutes.
Oh, right. How do you find that though? Because you do.
Yeah, I find it hard.
Yeah.
You know, it takes me. It takes me a few, like probably 5 or 6 gigs before I can actually adjust to it.
Yeah, because it feels very different to doing 20 minutes, doesn't it? 7 minutes. You feel like.
I mean, I
you're on and then
never
you're off
like
again.
it, even though I can adjust to it. I never ever
Yeah.
feel that comfortable doing it. You know, I feel like I feel much better over a longer period of time. But I think I don't know America. I wouldn't really want to crack America.
I've never gigged there.
No.
I've never been actually. I've been to Denver Airport on transit.
Right.
That was it really. I've got the atmosphere of America.
Yeah.
though.
Just from the airport.
And Hawaii, but
You went to Hawaii?
well, transit.
Oh
yeah.
right, I was gonna say.
Where were you going at the end of these transits?
I was going from Sydney to London, and I stopped at both
okay.
places.
What a weird route.
I know. It went to. I think I was getting the cheapest ticket I could
That
possibly.
must have been, mate. Just how long did it take? About 48 hours.
It took long, about 30 odd or 6 hours.
God.
That's
Not
when I got
bad.
caught smoking on the plane.
Oh,
I was chatting to he probably might want. I'll keep his name out of it because he's quite a well-known,
okay.
famous comedian. But he got caught smoking on a plane about a decade ago.
Oh, no.
And he told me the story backstage. It was really funny, just like how actually he said the staff were pretty chilled about it. You know, in terms of they had a go at him, but it was like,
Right.
look,
Oh,
you know,
really?
yeah.
Oh,
It didn't end up being as big a scene
you
as
didn't
it.
ground the plane.
No.
for that.
You know,
It would be serious nowadays.
I'd
yeah.
say it'd be more
Yeah,
serious.
I
Yeah.
feel like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
What
I was
about if you
17 and they did have a go at me.
Have you vape on? Do you vape
You
on
can't
planes?
vape. Can you vape on a plane?
Yeah.
You're not meant to, but
How are you
people
doing
do
it then?
Just get a little Lost Mary.
Yeah.
Like no smoke, have it in your sleeve.
And you're in your seat.
Just
are you-
blighting the stewardess's face.
but are you blowing?
So kind of a Jack Daniels.
honking on it in your seat, or are you going to the toilet?
A little bit of both, well, if I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope no airlines are listening.
Somebody says, who's this? Sophie says Bexley or Bexley Village. What does that mean?
Which is
Oh.
better. Bexley Village is nice, isn't it? Is
Or
that the one?
Does she mean where am I from? I don't know.
I don't know. It
I'm
could be
from
what's
Bexley
better
Heath.
or where you're from.
Bexley Heath is neither of those, though, is it?
No, well, Bexley Village, I'd call the same thing. Yeah, I'm from Bexley Heath, but Bexley Village is quite nice.
Okay.
I'd say it's a little bit posher.
Yeah. Anywhere with village
I
is always
visited
nice.
someone in a what do they call the mental homes? But what's the right word?
Psychiatric.
Yeah, psychiatric
yeah.
hospital there.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it.
I don't
Nut
know.
house.
Is that where you're from?
No, my dad was in there.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. He had a drug-induced psychosis.
Ah.
When?
Oh, years ago,
How old
before
was
the
he then?
vaping.
Before the yeah, I was gonna say, when it was more age appropriate.
He'll probably listen to this actually.
I remember going to visit my mate and then I was like really stressed out as when I was drinking and I ended up telling him all my problems.
Oh, God.
And he was like, "You all right, man? You look stressed out."
He's all shackled up.
I know.
Hey, are you doing all right?
"You look stressed, man. Is everything all right?" I'm like, "Well, actually, like, yeah."
I know a few people that have had stints in
Yeah.
psychiatric wards.
Yeah. I think you came out better for it.
Yeah.
You'd
Till
hope
the
so.
next time.
Our friend Rob Collins has been in there twice.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
hasn't
really?
he?
What, in the
Didn't he think he
Bexley
was
one?
God for a bit?
Yeah, he thought he was Jesus.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I think my
Same
mum
thing,
said something about
technically.
my dad was like, he thought there were bombs dropping everywhere
Right.
when on the drive there. She just had to sort of take him.
What?
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you mind me asking what drug based?
I think he did a lot of speed.
Really?
That's
Speed?
proper his generation drugs,
Is
isn't
it?
it? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
One of the
I
it's the
think it was
grottiest
speed.
drug.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I've not done it for
Yeah.
ever, but it used to be the one that you'd sort of almost do by accident. It was like you'd be
okay.
after like.
I
you'd be
did
after,
it in my
this
teens
is
a
I'm
few
talking back
times.
in the day. Like you'd be after coke or pills, and somebody would just some nutter would have
cheaper,
speed.
isn't it?
Okay, I think
I
my
remember-
dad was that nutter.
Yeah, and somebody would just have it and they'd have some of this, and you'd just be like, it'd be the worst feeling. There was no positivity to it
Well,
at
even
all.
now,
I think it was before the cocaine come around a lot.
Before it became an affordable thing for
it
people.
used to be like Scarface, didn't it?
It did,
Cocaine was like
yeah.
a rich man's drug.
And then now it's literally every fucker in every gig, I can't. You watch football in a pub now. Half time, everyone's in the toilet doing coke. It's like you're watching flipping Serbia versus Croatia
the first England game on Sunday
in a village pub.
You're in a tea shop.
It's literally in Sevenoaks, and there was a bloke next to me, and I think it was 10 minutes into the game, and he was just being an absolute pain. And then his mate just went, "Sorry, he's had too many sherbets." He had to leave 15 minutes into the game because he was just all over.
Oh, it's such a horrible drug, isn't it? Should we get some?
Martin says, "What's the stupidest thing anyone's ever said to you?"
Martin.
Stupidest.
It's hard. But
I remember once I was saying I was about 12, and I said to a girl about I don't walk over 3 drains because it's bad luck. And she was like ridiculing me. I was like, all right, it's just like a little. Yeah. She said it's 2 drains. And I was like, it's not.
You idiot.
She was going on and on. I was like, all right, it's just like a little kind of superstitious thing. She went, it's 2 drains, you moron.
Oh, man. I reckon it up until, I'm going to say 7 or 8, maybe 10 years ago, I still used to avoid walking under scaffolding, walking under ladders, just because my mum...
I got over that by forcing myself to do it.
I just one day just thought, what are you doing? I started, and now I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I've never had any, but the free drains one, I still won't walk on free drains.
Really? Yeah. That one's never even been something I knew about.
Shoulder. Oh, no.
I'm not going to do that. I'll just avoid the free drains.
Is that what you got to do? I don't know.
You're thinking of throwing salt over your left
Was this a South East London thing?
I
didn't know the free drains one.
Yeah.
Your 2 drains is good luck, 3 drains is bad luck.
You just got to avoid it.
Do you do the magpies one?
Yeah, I salute magpies still.
I don't do that.
All right, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
You don't salute them, you salute 2 of them. You moron.
But what is it? One? I don't know.
But that's because magpies are monogamous, so it's sad if you see one on its own because it's not going to get another partner.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, what? It means their other partners died?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Oh, I could have gone my whole
life
without
couldn't the other one
knowing
just be back at the nest?
Yeah,
looking after
I
the
think
kids?
they hang
the kids. Yeah,
I don't know. I think that's where it comes from.
Wow. Let's do this.
So saluting them helps.
Makes them feel better about their grief.
Feel important.
Do you think, this is from Jagu, do you think your lives are extraordinary enough to publish in a biography, or do you believe that nobody would be interested in what you believe to be a pretty lukewarm existence?
Oh my God.
All right, mate. And then
I don't want to think about that question too
Jagu
much.
just jumped off a bridge after
and then he says the follow-up question is, what would you call your biographies? I don't know. I think anyone, I'd say 99% of people's lives, if once it gets to a certain age, probably would be interesting if you wrote it properly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's obviously people who grow up in the same place that they were, born, that don't ever actually travel anywhere. Like there are people that their lives probably are pretty.
But even that's quite interesting, I guess, because that's against the norm now, isn't it? If you didn't go anywhere, if you stayed in that same village, knew the same people for your entire
I still live
life.
in a similar area where I grew up.
Well, I done back living where I grew up as well now. So.
I think I could have a good biography though.
I reckon you
all
could.
of my different stages in my life, like just crazy, like chapters.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't think I'd write a biography about myself.
But no, you can't write a biography about yourself. It's autobiography.
If it's an autobiography, it's about you. Yeah.
Why do you think yours wouldn't have the excitement?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't think.
Have you never had any sort of mad periods?
It doesn't have to be crazy though, does it, to be interesting?
Like I've gone through like the psychics phase, the crystals phase, like all that sort of thing. But I've never there's no big moments that the autobiography would be like leading towards to be like, oh. Although my mum's into autobiographies at the moment. She's reading Helen Lederer.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
I've met her. She's really, really funny in person.
I know that
and great.
name, Helen Lederer.
Alternative comedy legend. She popped up in so many things. You'd recognise her.
And she was in like Ab Fab and stuff like that.
Yeah. She's really funny.
She literally finished reading her book this morning and she's like talking about her like, oh yeah, because Helen this and like it's her mate.
Yeah.
So I don't know, on that, the way she was doing that, I thought, oh, maybe someone would want to read mine because it's just like...
Yes.
A mate. She almost felt like she had this sort of like in affinity with her now.
I'd say after the last episode, your family revelations.
What's the family?
And mine. We won't do them now. We're gonna do an episode sort of just for Patreon where because like we both got quite sort of big family secrets that are, like have come out. We've learned as we grow up.
Okay.
So like that's what I think.
We'll do a Patreon episode because I've got some other stuff that's dark as fuck.
Oh God.
Yeah. So like I think in terms of if I had an autobiography, there would be a lot of revelations, and there's periods I went through a divorce and the lead up to that was brutal, and afterwards I've travelled around India. I've done bits that would probably make quite interesting reading. Wouldn't be that huge, but you know, I think I could make an entertaining book, I reckon. What would it be called? I don't know. What do you just call it your name, don't you? Or they always call it quite sort of worthy titles or biographies. They're all just
call it my name.
Yeah, you go. You think it will sell itself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll buy it.
I'm not publishing one.
Will you buy my one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have you ever been stitched up or shortchanged doing a gig? Stitched up or shortchanged?
I've been underpaid, and then you had to go and like say, "Excuse me, it's not all there before."
Yeah.
And you know they're trying it.
I think I basically think I've had one in the last week, but I think it might have been I agreed to a gig and I didn't ask.
Well, you know when the
much?
payment takes ages. There's a lot of that at the moment on Twitter, isn't there?
Yeah.
Gigs just not paying for months.
Yeah. And that is
It's
like
good they're getting called out though.
Well, yeah, because I think in the old days people just kept their mouth shut if they weren't getting paid for ages.
Laughter House or something it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never actually played it.
Nor have I. That's
it's
why
in
I'm
Liverpool.
saying it.
No,
but apparently, like, they've been going.
Is
through
it the Laughter House in Liverpool? Yeah.
Yeah, and like so. But yeah, I think now people are starting to call that stuff out. It used to just be you had to suck it up and be like, "Oh, I did a gig 9 months ago. I've not been paid yet." And you just be chasing it on email.
Yeah, I just chase mine, and then I said that to my friend. He was like, "Oh, I never chase, and I just let it go." I'm like, "What? You've got to chase."
Yeah.
Scared of not getting booked again. You can't have that.
If you're not getting paid, you don't want to be booked again.
I
You're
don't
just
know
not
how
going to get paid
people
again.
clocked up like $4,000 from that. You remember that chain of
Jonglers when Jonglers went, I know somebody who lost their house from
Really?
that. Yeah, it was brutal, man.
Well, there's one recently as well in London that apparently people have got like.
We did a live pod there.
Oh, was it? Oh, really?
Yeah,
they took over a year to pay us.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was chasing it and stuff.
Did you ever send it to me?
I did.
Oh, right.
I definitely
Julian
did.
hasn't paid me
Have
for
you
over
ever
a
been
year.
stitched up yet?
I'm here to call it out.
I did send it to you.
Okay,
we had
cool.
to take the filming money out, so it wasn't. It was only about $4 million each.
But well, I forgot what I was going to say now. But yes, I'm really bad at checking if I've been paid.
Oh, what, you don't look to see?
Yes.
I just like it. 4 months later, I realised I've not been paid for a gig.
No, I always check
Some gigs pay first. Like James Alderson always pays
In advance?
Do you want it now?
Mate, I'm tanking that gig so hard.
That's another superstition.
That's better though, isn't it?
Yeah,
I
don't like being paid before that.
I don't care now. I'll just I'll get paid now.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't like being paid.
Just
in
blow
advance.
it down a brass house and go to the gig.
Who is it? I've heard stories of.
It's
Who
mad
was
to
it?
me that just goes over his head now because he hears it so much.
What?
He went, "I'll just blow it down the brass house."
Oh, yeah. It's
Just anyway.
I'm just immune to all the filth. I do know a story about, and we should get him on actually, but it's an. I won't say it in case he doesn't want it shared.
Right.
But it's somebody we all know, very funny comedian, who had to hold a knife to a promoter's throat to get paid.
And he had to?
Yeah.
Legally.
No, wait.
That's a weird law, that one, isn't it?
That's just how the
It's in
promoter does
T's and
it.
C's.
The promoter's just got this kink. But
You have to hold a knife to his balls and step on his tits.
And he'll backs it to you. Right.
yeah. But it's a funny story. We'll get
Hold
it.
a knife to a
I'll let you know.
promoter's throat.
I imagine they won't want to come on and tell
I mean,
that
I'd
story.
go
You'd be
with a
surprised.
small
He likes
claims
sharing
court
stuff. He's
first.
quite. He's a bit of an open book. This person, but I'd
Okay.
rather it be his story to
Trevor.
tell. No, it's not Trevor. He wouldn't hold a knife to anyone. Who would play the young and older you in a movie about your life? Naomi says that. Sorry, I've just noticed that Jagu sent a follow-up question to his one about your autobiographies. It's so dark. He just replied, "Do you fear dying alone?"
Yeah.
I think he's having a rough time at the minute, old Jagu.
Maybe it's not meant for the group, these questions. Maybe he's trying to get his ex back.
Which one should we do? We'll do the dying alone question first.
Yeah.
Let's get that
I
out of the
think
way.
that most people tend to die. I mean, dying alone, like what, you're single on your own for years before,
I suppose
or you're
it's different,
actually,
isn't it? Everyone,
as you're dying, you're
No
alone
one
in a
get
room.
there in traffic.
Yeah, because a lot of people do die when their families leave the room, don't they?
Yeah, there's a lot of people hold on, don't
Right,
they?
I do they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
my dad didn't do that. My dad fucking did it right in front of me.
my dad died without me there. Yeah.
Oh, really? But I suppose, like, statistically, like, unless you're round the clock at the hospital, like, but I think with my dad, it was so obviously going to be that day. Like,
Yeah.
he was just winding down. They turned off everything. But so, like, we knew, all right, this is the day.
What the Wi-Fi and that, yeah.
The telly. And the moment he saw the telly went off, he went, I'm out of here.
Though, like with my grandma, I wasn't at home, and it was in the middle of the night.
Was she at home?
She was at home, and they'd gone into hospital. But normally, my phone is always on silent, and I'm sure I didn't put it on loud. But in the middle of the night,
When
it
you've
went
got a
off,
sick
and it was my
relative.
mum saying, "Oh yeah, but because she'd been ill for so long."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were bored of it.
No, but you just didn't. We didn't think she was gonna go. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
like
yeah.
this is gonna.
She was
But then
immortal.
in the middle of the night, my mum was like, "It's gonna happen. Like you need to get to the hospital."
Yeah.
So I had to drive like an hour to get to the hospital.
Oh, nightmare.
From your house.
I was in Sutton, I had to get to like Blackheath or somewhere. I don't know, Queen Mary's. I can't remember. Where it was.
Queen Elizabeth in
Yeah,
Woolwich.
thank you, Queen Elizabeth. Yeah, and but my grandma had a pacemaker,
Yeah.
so she sort of kept going and coming
It kept bringing her back to
back.
life.
Yeah, it was. We was in there hours.
I
like,
assume
is she
they'd turn
gone?
that.
Is she
Can they not turn it off?
I don't know what they was. No, it was in the end. We was all sat there and we were like, we think she's gone.
Yeah.
But they had to keep, and they kept coming in and check, and they'd be like, "Oh no, still."
Yeah.
Still
That's the
here.
pacemaker keeping her alive then.
Yeah, so we just kept saying goodbye
Oh,
over and over
no.
again.
Apparently it costs thousands to keep people alive just for a few days at the end.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Sometimes I don't know.
Well, it must be.
there's-
My dad had his own room in St George's Hospital, you know, and obviously
where's that hospital
Tooting. And then, like, you know, the first
It's
couple
nice
of
he had
days.
his own room.
Yeah, it was. It was nice that we could then just be in the room.
Yeah, we
But,
was all there.
The first couple of days they were trying to sort of do stuff, and then they were like, "Look, man, it's no point. You know,
Yeah.
Look, man, I'll finish at 6. And
look, man, this is costing like $1,000 a day."
Yeah.
And they just turned everything off, and it meant that room for like it was basically about 36 hours of it just being well peaceful and nice. There was no beeps or nothing.
Yeah.
yeah,
But we had a few false alarms, like when we thought it'd done.
God,
It
yeah,
even
this-
did one of them big film breaths at one point. The sort of big like,
My dad did that, a big
and,
gasp.
and it just nothing came out, and I was like, oh fuck, oh right, okay.
It's
And I was
done.
just about to accept it,
Yeah.
and then after about 10 seconds, he went. And I was like, oh god! It was like a real false alarm, and then
Yeah.
about half an hour later, he did the big one, and just it is like
Well,
it is
you-
how
you
it's
were-
in the films. Like,
Yeah.
it's a proper.
What, the last
you
breath
hear
of
the
life.
last breath. It's
Yeah.
fucking mad. Like it really is. Like, you know, it's a thing. You can feel it.
I don't feel like I think about death enough though to think if I don't feel like I
That's
worry
good.
about dying alone.
You can worry about
No?
living
That was the
alone.
question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. No, it doesn't.
But
It doesn't
I
cross my
don't-
mind as a
Yeah,
fear.
don't because no, some people actually have like a phobia of not a phobia, but like they think about death a lot, don't they? Like they
Well,
have
I
just an
don't really,
anxiety
I don't
about
really
it.
fear it though. Even if I do think about it, I don't know.
But a lot of people have a fear of just being alone.
I
Like,
fear about
Yeah.
like my kids more grieving me and stuff. Like, well, I worry about them,
Yeah.
but I don't want to die. I want to die. I don't want to live either.
Yeah, but some people can't. Like some people are really bad just on their own, just
Yeah.
general. Do you know what I mean? I know. Chris Martin, a comedian. He used to be terrible on his own. He just hated his own company.
Okay,
So
yeah.
like he couldn't even have baths. He was like, I can't have
You're
a bath.
joking.
So I can't just lie in
Without
what-
his parents.
Everyone's
without
in
me
there.
holding his
Like a
hand.
conference centre.
But yeah, he just was like, it's too
Outgoing
long to
people.
sit in a room on your own. Like he just doesn't. He's totally.
It's
That's totally gone now.
extroverted,
He's
is
grown
it?
I
out
was
of
gonna
it.
say, that
It was just when
must
he
be,
was when he was young. You know, I think he was just so sociable,
Right.
and it was like it just didn't. He just hated being on his own for,
God,
except
like
for
a
when
bit
it was
of time
like
on
go
my
to
own.
bed.
I
you know,
mean, I
whatever.
like my own company. I do like dipping my toe in socialising and then kind of little,
Yeah.
you know,
Treating.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then going, and then I like being on my own.
Yeah, I love being on my own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just wanking.
That was coming. Come on. Come on. Who would play the young and older you? Oh, I didn't see the older bit.
I think Macaulay
Older.
Culkin, the younger
He'd
me.
play the younger you.
Yeah, the older one probably.
Now, though.
Ryan
actually play it as he is
Gosling.
now.
Margot Robbie.
Young and older. I don't know.
No, I can't even think.
What's
Is it
the
meant
guy,
to be based on looks,
what's
or is
the
it
guy
something
that was
actor you
in Train
like?
Spotting who threw the...
Robert Carlyle.
Yeah, him, I think.
He'd play the younger you. I recreated that photo in a pub in Sydney. I don't know. Did you ever see, me and Kevin Bridges were in a pub in Sydney, and like obviously I had a tat. I was wearing like a blue jacket, and we just went into this pub and we went and sat, and suddenly it was just a balcony with your back to like the rest of the pub downstairs.
And you threw a
And I
glass.
I said like this feels like I feel like Begbie just sat here in my tash and jacket with my pint, and then I sort of jokingly went fucking like that, and then we just recreated it and took a
'cause
photo of
Kevin's
it.
Scottish, isn't he?
Yeah. It was really like
That was filmed in Edinburgh, that, wasn't it?
yeah, like a lot of it around Leith. Back when Leith was like rough as guts,
yeah.
and now it's like proper.
Nice.
Well, I mean, there are rough parts of it still, but it's very hipstery and trendy. Like I was staying down that way when I was up in Edinburgh recently. It's lovely, like proper.
So you're doing the full run this year?
Yeah.
And you're doing 10 days?
Yeah,
12
12
days?
yeah. Third to the
Why
14th.
12?
Because Taylor Swift's on the 15th in London. I had
Cool.
a ticket.
Oh yeah, okay. I know someone
I'll
who's
keep
going
that to
tonight.
yourself.
Sarah Keyworth is going tonight.
Oh, is she?
I did with them last night.
Where's
yeah.
she? At the
Oh,
O2?
sorry. Pardon?
At the O2?
No, Wembley.
Ah.
How many nights is Taylor Swift doing then? She's doing what? She's coming and going back.
Yeah, I don't know why they're broken up like that. They must have been added on, the ones in
is
August.
it like? Is she a big? Are you a big fan?
Yeah, I do like Taylor Swift, yeah.
What do you like about her? You resonate with what she's
Yeah.
saying?
Well, they say that because she sort of, you grow up with her, like all her different sort of breakups.
Did you
and
grow
things.
up with her?
No, she's like 5 years younger than me. But,
You should be ashamed of this.
but no, because she's
should
always
sell
singing
your
about
ticket.
breakups and things. Normally, if you have a break, you go to one of her
Right.
songs.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so profound.
Yeah, they are.
She, I like
I
her
go to
success
church.
is that one of the first times in my life that I genuinely it makes me feel like an old man. Like in that thing,
Really?
I know one of it. I can
An
tell you
old
one of her
pervy
songs,
man.
and that's
Okay,
that
yeah.
Never Getting Back Together song.
I mean, they're
Right.
catchy and stuff, like, and she's fucking huge, isn't she?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really see like the talent as much as like Ariana Grande. Her voice is crazy good, in it.
Yeah, I think it's because Taylor Swift does write all her own ones. I think.
Yeah,
That's-
bullshit.
Oh, yeah, well, this is the thing. So my boyfriend tried to debunk that the other day because apparently she comes from a lot of money.
Right.
She wasn't.
But there are co-writers on her songs. I think
Oh,
it's not
yeah.
like
Yeah,
she's not.
so
She's not down as the
she's
sole
definitely-
writer.
no,
like-
she has people.
But it's like the Beyonce,
co-writing.
but it depends whether or not it's like the
mean, she
Beyonce one
can-
where the Beyonce. Have you ever looked into like the Beyonce
Yeah.
who writes like it's she's like listed as the main songwriter on some.
Yeah.
It's like Dua
And there's
Lipa,
loads of
isn't
people
it?
have come out and said like I literally wrote that song for her, and like
Oh,
she just
really?
she hasn't even given me a she did get like a minor production
Right.
credit.
Yeah, so
You know what I mean? So
I don't
like
know if-
that's why I'm always super cynical when it comes to that level of pop music.
Did they really write her of
Yeah.
I always think I do think that it's the record labels
'Cause they're
are
all like-
hiding a lot of.
Yeah, well, even because like with
I
guess
think
the PR
computers
part
come
of
up
it-
with the little hooks and jingles as well.
No.
Yeah.
Well, like
Conspiracies
AI.
Like
getting
they've got
deeper, mate.
every popular jingle in a system, and they can kind of create what the brain would like.
There was that Disney film that they
That's why they're
reckon was made
bangers.
by AI.
Which one?
Wish.
I've not seen it.
Yeah, and they're all saying how much worse it is to all the other Disney
Oh,
films because
really?
it doesn't have that human touch.
Yeah, they probably put a bit of human into it. They could do.
Let's do this. Oh, we didn't actually answer who'd play us.
No, I
in
haven't
the
got a
old.
clue
You said
who'd play
Robert
me.
Carlyle. It's a good shout. I'd take that.
The younger one, I don't know.
What's the strangest, worst culinary experience you have had? It's from Tim Bob. Strangest / worst. One of the worst bits of food I ever ate. I was in Hong Kong
Yeah. Oh.
15 years
God.
ago.
Yeah, I was there.
And I just ate some of the food. No, I went into a restaurant and it just, it was full on Chinese. There was no English stuff. So it was a case of just guessing for a
Yeah.
bit of a laugh. And on the menu there was some that had weird sort of versions of the name in English, but not all of them, just a few of them. And I just saw one that was called melon soup. I thought it's obviously a mistake. The English, because like a couple of the ones that I found that had English translations were mental. Like it clearly wasn't what it was.
Wasn't going to be it.
Yeah. So like it would like be like prawns on rocks or something, and you'd be like, obviously they've translated.
Retarded.
And stop saying the word retard.
Oh yeah, sorry. Remedial.
But basically, I saw melon soup, and I was like, it's got to be a mistake. And I ordered it, and it was melon soup. It was like basically mushed up melon warmed up to soup.
Chinese food is like really nice. It's really popular here, isn't it?
Yeah, but
It's
the Chinese food you have here isn't what you eat in China.
because I went to Hong Kong and we had like a chicken dish, and it was in a pool of blood, and we had to and we sent it back, and then they just brought it back out the same.
Yeah. No, you've made the mistake.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
No, you do like this.
But I really like that when restaurants back themselves.
Yeah.
I was in a restaurant in Wales.
No, it's delicious.
With like
I've made it perfectly.
It was a big family dinner. Not mine, it was my wife's side. And there was a woman who like had this FODMAP thing. Do you know about this? No. She can't have like chili or garlic or onion in her diet. It's like it causes sort of IBS symptoms. And the waiter came over. It was an Indian restaurant, and he was a really old little Indian guy. And she went, sorry, can I just check? Is it possible to get any of these without onions, garlic, ginger? And he just went, no. And he went, you want English food, you have to go English restaurant. And I was like, yeah.
Go on, son.
I was like, that is
Makes me want to eat there.
And I like the fact, like, I think once, like, she explained it's a medical thing.
Yeah, it's not.
He went, all right, let me go check. And actually, they did sort something out. They cooked her own dish but I think when he thought it was just some, I don't have any of that spicy onion stuff. You know what I mean? I think it was a good result. I laughed.
Yeah, it's like you said about backing yourself. The restaurants backing themselves. Now a lot of them don't put salt and pepper on the table.
What?
Right.
Because they're like, we've seasoned it perfectly.
I agree with that. I used to one of my most annoying things ever. My mate, one of my best mates in the world. Whenever I'd cook for us, he'd always put salt on it before tasting it, and I find it absolutely infuriating. It's like, I've seasoned it, man. Taste it, and then if you think it's not salty enough, I know he liked more
just
salt.
Just like habit, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, but I just found it such a rude thing to do.
Yeah.
Taste it first. Come on.
Taste it before you
in fact, that was like 10 years
bin.
ago. I'm still holding on to it.
So putting ketchup all over it.
Worst culinary experience. I don't know. Strangest was definitely melon soup. Worst. I'm trying to think.
My worst was in Greece, man. I'm going on Sunday actually, but I don't know. Like it was the night before we were coming back, and I don't know. They took hours to bring the menu out. Well, it felt like hours, and the food was horrible, man. And the next day, I just crapped myself.
I suppose. Yeah, the worst would always be food poisoning.
Yeah, it was definitely food poisoning, man. I remember standing at the top of the stairs. My girlfriend's at the bottom, and I'm talking. I've just gone.
Oh man!
I've just got to go for a set. I'll come back in a little while.
Oh man!
It was brutal, man. But it was definitely that nasty food, man.
Yeah. I remember I went to a fish restaurant in Soho just 25 years ago when I was eating bloody meat, and I had a bowl of whitebait. Have you ever had whitebait?
It's nice, man.
Well, it's too many fish. You know what I mean? Like it's a bowl of like 1,000. You're eating 1,000 fish.
Yeah,
but that is a catastrophe.
Like
it's a genocide. And like I ate this bowl of whitebait, and all it takes is one bad one, and you're done, innit? Right, so basically I just remember just 3 hours later just doing that. You only start getting sweaty,
fevered up.
Oh man, and I just spent like 5 hours on the bathroom floor just on them cold tiles, man. You know, just getting up and vomiting and lying back on them
people
tiles.
Coming to shit on the toilet and leaving and sorry man, don't mind me.
I feel like though I've thrown up I've had the shits and thrown up from food before, and then I'm like, was it the food or was it like a neurovirus? But now I can't. I remember
you can't prove it either way.
Come home from uni.
You can't, but it's definitely like I've not had food poisoning since I went vegan.
Oh really?
Also,
you said fish. My one was prawns.
Yes,
and they
fish. I think fish is the most common cause of it.
Or chicken. Chicken's bad, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, I think it's very hard to get if you're vegan because like, you can't get even vegetables. The worst if they go off.
Yeah.
The worst that can happen is they just go a bit rotten.
And you can see if it's gone off
exactly.
quite easily.
Yeah. It's not inside the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think fish is the killer, man. That's the one. I think I had it 10, 15 times over the years from fish. and kept going back.
That's a lot of fucking shitting, man.
Let's do. How long have we been chatting for? I just want to make sure we don't.
53.
Oh, all right. Let's do one more question. So let's do. This is a good one actually. Somebody, who was it? Oh, it was Tim again. But he sent. I shared a link, a clip last night from Andrew Bird on Instagram.
yeah.
Oh, he's brilliant. Yeah.
And Tim has shared it in like this in the WhatsApp group, and it's such a brilliant bit of stand up. And he's basically asked the question like, what is it? He goes, I think this is an awesome bit of stand up, but what's the difference between a bit and a bit that makes an arena tour, like out, garlic bread or mandrel?
Everyone's got their favourite bits, I guess. The garlic bread bit, I didn't really resonate with me because
I loved it.
Or like the Tom Stade, who is great. He had the meat van bit. I didn't really get that either.
I love that as
but
well.
I love his other bits. But the out bit was just like hit a vibe, didn't it? Of the whole country.
I also, but I think the difference between sort of
like Mandrel.
Basically everyone should go on Instagram and watch Andrew Bird's. He's put a clip up, and I actually, it's a bit I quote to people. It's one of them bits when. Like when his name comes up, I always say he does one of my favourite bits of material, and he's finally put it online. It's about how posh people are nice to your face, mean behind your back, and working class people are mean to your face and nice behind your back. And he acts it out, and it's so funny. And but I think the difference is now, I don't think routines are the catalyst. Do you know, there was that period where TV...
What, going viral, you mean?
Well, no, but going viral is almost irrelevant now. But you can go viral for a bit of audience chat, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I think that them out garlic bread, they were like of a time when there wasn't much stand-up on telly. And suddenly Mickey Flanagan got on telly, McIntyre got on telly, and they did these routines that were absolutely levelling clubs up and down the country.
I saw Flanagan do that to like 12 people. Do you remember the Putney Comedy Tree?
Yeah.
And there was no one in there.
And did it fly in front of 12 people?
Not particularly, but I loved the bit before that. Like when he came out the toilet, I didn't even know him. I went, were you out? Like, I loved the bit, you know what I mean? I'd seen it loads.
Yeah.
But this was years ago, man. But then he just suddenly blew.
Enough people haven't seen Andrew Bird's bit. Like,
well,
if they saw it, would it become a bit that everyone's
I think
like,
the
bit.
difference is now that could go viral. I've shared it. A bunch of people are sharing it because it's so
people
good.
Still maybe wouldn't quote
but I don't think it's going to... I don't think now that will propel you to being an arena comedian. Like I think the game's changed in that sort of,
Well,
people
one appearance
now
on Mock the Week could.
Well, it used to be
tour on the back of.
Yeah, like I think now you can go. I know people that go viral with clips getting 3 million views, but actually they're not touring to much. If
they do it consistently, I guess they can.
Of course. Yeah. So I just think it's not, that world is gone now. That day of something blowing up to the point of being an arena.
Yeah, and I don't think people necessarily remember bits now. It's they just want to spend time with that person.
Yeah. I think that's true, actually.
Of liking people and being like, I want to spend an hour with her rather than I like that bit that she does. Everyone wants to see the authentic you and you to.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? Or people they just watch people do crowd work and want to go see somebody
but
do
again,
crowd
that's just
work.
sort of you
Take
being
the piss
yourself,
out of
isn't it? When
someone.
you're chatting.
I suppose, yeah.
It's just you reacting as.
I do get frustrated watching, sort of, because I do the odd bit of crowd work and that, but I don't do it for the purpose of, I hope this is recorded.
Yeah.
But I find sometimes when you're on with an act who's definitely trying to get a crowd work clip.
You've got 3 cameras set up around the room.
But but actually often they just, all they're doing, because they probably haven't watched the rest of the show, they end up asking the same people the compares talk to. They ask them the same questions, and it creates this weird atmosphere in the room that the audience are thinking, why is this person just asking exactly the same questions? It's happened at so many gigs I've done recently. I find it really weird. It's a weird vibe. If you're going to do crowd work, I do think you've either got to do original crowd work or at least watch the rest of the show to see what's not being done.
Or you are the MC. So
otherwise, you're just you're just playing it to your cameras rather than actually playing to the audience that are there. Think of them.
They can tell you're not in the room.
They
with
should
them,
be the first priority of any gig. And then it's obviously getting some pom-pom after the show.
Yeah. Getting that wedding ring off, you know what I mean? Leaning on the bar.
Doing a little round afterwards. Just doing a loop as they're leaving. Go sniffing around.
Sniffing some hair.
On that note.
Ending it.
We need to wrap it up. Thanks for coming back on. It's been fun as always.
Thanks
for coming to this. This is a new studio we've tried out. This is our second. Now we're sort of homeless since Vauxhall's shut. That we've been on the move, done some at home.
Nice.
Went to another little one that had some issues there. So this has been lovely.
Yeah,
it has. It felt like quite, sort of. I felt like some of the topics were ruder than the vibe. Feels like she'd be having a really serious chat, a debate. There should be like you know what I mean? You're chairing a debate.
Game.
What's the one when they do the boxing one, the over the table one?
Oh yeah. You're the host, and we're gonna fight next week,
digging each other out.
Yeah.
He's a waste man, you know. But no, it's been very fun. So, where should people find your bits and bobs?
Fiona_Ridgewell on Instagram.
Nice. And Edinburgh. What's the show called?
Oh, Believable.
And as we chatted before, it's ready to go. Best show on the Fringe, fully written, previewed.
It is a whip when it's up there. It is a work in progress, but it is very...
As yet, the progress has not begun.
There's no
currently it's a work without any progress.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a wee whap.
Oh,
yeah. And come mine is on sale and is slightly more progress.
Yeah.
So.
I'll be in London. Yeah,
yeah, mate.
Soak in the sun.
Do. All right, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
We love you.